times that you rain on my parade, and all the clubs you get in using my name. You think you broke my heart, oh girl, for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own, well I ain't. And I didn't want to write a song.
Hello and welcome to another 0 to 60. Today guys, we're in a 2008 E92 BMW.
Yeah, this is a 335i, and these coupes were actually released back in 2007. The motor is the N54 variant. These E92 models were the first to use the N54, but they kept being used right the way up until the 2016 and the 1Ms.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive that they used the motors for so long. Mind you, they were, well, I feel like they were a big jump in power. They got right up to V8 sort of territory. These, with the first gen, I think they had 225 kilowatts or around the 300 horsepower.
Yep.
There were a couple of other variants there. They ramped it up a little bit as they got older, and I'm 99% sure the 1M uses, I think, around 250 kilowatts. Don't hold me to that, everyone. But no, certainly a pretty impressive motor.
Yeah, well, they sort of unleashed made a bit of a legacy for aftermarket tuners. It's not uncommon to see sort of 400 horsepower out of these motors without too much work. I remember a friend of ours back in 2010 had a 335i, had a tune and a few bolt-ons, and the thing was it was a monster. He ended up getting a 92 M3, which is an upgrading car, but it was a huge downgrade in power and speed. Although that didn't stay standard for long either. So.
Yeah, so this one, however, is pretty much basically standard. I know it's got a muffler delete and a bit of a cold air intake, although you can't really call it much of a cold air intake. What do you reckon it's going to do time-wise? The original ones, well, actually, there's so many varying numbers. Wikipedia lists these at 4.8, 0 to 100.
Which, yeah, seems crazy to me.
Yeah, very optimistic. The most believable figure I've found is 5.7.
Yeah, that's what I found as well as an official time, which I believe that as a BMW number. So considering our tests aren't done with warm tyres or on drag strips and all that sort of stuff, I reckon we're going to see low to mid sixes.
I think I'll agree. To be awkward, I'm going to say 5.9.
5.9. Damn. Well, let's see what it does.
Let's go and have some fun. Well, we've done the runs, and I'll tell you what my big standout thing was, the sound this thing makes. It's actually awesome.
It sounds cool, just a simple, cheap model, muffler delete, but it's not too drony and you get a lot of rasp, but it's cool on the road, I like it.
If you've got a 335 and you're sort of toying up whether to do the muffler delete, just do it. For the sake of an exhaust shop, and it's probably about $100 to get done in Australia, the noise, especially when you're under load, is sick. The more important part of it, the times.
Time, yeah. The best it pulled was a 6.6, and that's without trying too hard as well. All in all, it comes in a little bit slower than the Scirocco R.
Yes.
A little bit quicker than the Scirocco, a little bit slower than the Corvette Carbon.
Mind you, you can't really compare it to the Corvette. The Corvette was such a wild car, and it wasn't getting traction on that day.
No.
It was terrible. This being a bit more standard, I reckon it was easier. A much easier thing to launch.
Yeah, I do agree, but with that said, I did see one of the launch attempts that the guy did just stalled it up a little bit too much, a little bit too heavy on the right pedal, and it just absolutely peeled the tyres. Absolutely just laid black lines.
I think we got a clip of that. Basically, it was about a second off its claim time, or just under a second, which isn't too bad. It's about what we're getting with all the cars we do. None of them are doing the times they're supposed to do out of the box, but we're not doing them in perfect conditions.
No, we're not trying to extract every millisecond out of the car. It's as if you were to take off on the set of lights on your way to work, whatever the case. What is your car going to do? What is the car going to do?
If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Please remember to subscribe, and
We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
I'm better sleeping on my own.